All right, welcome back. Quit dinging, car. This is just still seems so surreal to me how it's all opened up over here for the new Costco gas station. People sure do drive through this, kind of crazy though. Just amazes me why people feel the need to drive so fast through parking lot infrastructure. It's still Wednesday the 28th. It's 1:47 p.m. I'm headed to my job interview over at Domino's. I got a brush, so I'm trying to do something about my hair because I know my hair is a little ratty at the moment. I'm wearing my sandals right now, which is, I think for an interview for driving Domino's Pizza, I should be all right. It would be a screw up if I went to another warehouse like that, but yeah, it's just too damn hot to be wearing my work shoes right now. God, that truck is huge. So that was actually ended up being a good visit. Yeah, way more people than I could squeeze into my mess of an apartment, but ended up being my mom, two of my sisters, and by far my favorite brother-in-law. And I used to talk to that brother-in-law quite a lot, and him and I hardly ever talk, and we only really talk for just a second, but he's a little bit younger than me. I guess he just turned 50, but actually I was mentioning on Sunday how I got to see the last Arizona performance of Don Williams, which was at the Celebrity Theater. Great show, and I'm so glad I got to go to that. Don Williams for me was kind of like one of those bucket list concerts. So just one of those artists that I as a child, I can't remember a time that I didn't listen to Don Williams. I just can't remember. I mean, one of my earliest memories of listening to my own music as a kid. Whoa! That big truck was coming right at me. Y'all see that? Yeah, I can't remember a time that I didn't listen to Don Williams, and one of the memories that really sticks in my mind, like there's certain 45s I remember having as a little kid that I played a lot, and one of them was Don Williams' version of Amanda, which I think was a bigger hit for Waylon Jennings, but Don Williams also released that as a single, and I don't remember how big of a hit it was, but I remember I had a 45 of it. And remembering what year I got it, I must have got that like right when it came out. So I'm assuming it was probably one of them records that, one of those songs I heard on the radio that I liked, and trip with mom or with grandma up to the record store to pick out a new 45, and that was one I picked out. But yeah, I remember having that 45 well into adulthood, and still one of my favorites to this day, one of my favorite Don Williams songs, and that I forget what record label it was on, but it was on an indie label. I want to say JCI Records. And yeah, I can just visualize like what that. There's a tent giving away Obamaphones on the left. I can just visualize in my mind like what the label looked like. Anyway, but yeah, I remember my grandfather having albums of Don Williams, and just Don Williams being on the radio, and even though I mostly listened to pop and rock and soul, if I was flipping through the radio dial and there was a Don Williams song on, I'd listen to the Don Williams song while I was passing by the country station. It's one of those artists, I don't know, for him, to me, he's just got one of the most magical, soothing voices ever recorded, and it's just always one of those voices that if I'm stressed or just whatever, just hearing a Don Williams song in the background will just bring a calm over me that's almost hard to explain. So yeah, finally getting to see him live was just kind of a bucket list experience. And even near the end of his life, he sounded absolutely in perfect form. And of course, in perfect form for Don Williams was tall old cowboy sitting on a stool with an acoustic guitar and a first class band backing him up. Wasn't a particularly energetic show, but my God, just so good live. Just sounded just the sound of everything was just amazing. But yeah, the brother-in-law that I just saw, it was him and his wife, my sister, that I brought with, as well as my mom, to go to that show. And it was kind of a last-minute thing to invite them as well. And I was glad we were all able to get tickets by each other. But yeah, I don't get to see them too much. I'm not even sure what the hell state they're living in these days. But I guess they're just here picking up some stuff and tying up some loose ends. But I was kind of apprehensive about seeing them just because I don't have a nice apartment they can just come in and sit down and get comfortable with, and this particular sister has more kids than I can count. Kind of trippy seeing my nephew. Like of all her kids, none of them remember me except for her oldest son, who of course remembers me very well. As when he was like grade school age and a toddler and stuff, I was very much in his life. I would see him, I don't want to say every week, but I'd say I rarely went more than a month without seeing that particular cousins. And granted, I saw his baby sisters too, but I mean, they're not old enough to remember that. He was. And he's very close in age to my daughter, Lily. So I'm guessing he's probably 12, 13-ish. Damn, he's as tall as me now. But yeah, him and Lily used to play together as kids. I still don't know where Lily is, unfortunately. Hell, I don't know where Allison is right now. And shit, I need to be getting myself in the left lane. I'm all just reminiscing and driving down Thomas Road and paying zero attention to where I'm at. So I'm pretty sure it's in the office building. I'm going to like some kind of regional office for Domino's Pizza. Yes, it's exactly where I think it is. And this is glass building on the left. And that bus stop right there on the left, the last time I was at that bus stop, I was there with an older Asian woman in a wheelchair. And the bus drove right by us, didn't even slow down. And I'm not sure if I got that on video, but I remember it like it was yesterday. She was so frustrated, and I was so frustrated, and I genuinely feel, and she said it happens to her all the time, and I believe her. I genuinely feel that bus driver just simply didn't want to deal with having to load a wheelchair. And so just drove right by us. There's no way he didn't see us. There's just no way. And if memory serves, I was coming back from going to my insurance agent for something. 'Cause my insurance agent's another block down the road. Wow, that's an awkward place to park, but I don't know where else you put a van that size. I expect all the covered parking is probably reserved. That's usually how it is in places like this. It is hot out today, by the way. I think the high temperature today is 109. Oh yeah. All the covered spots have names on them. Well, it looks like where the minivan is pulling out of, there's a spot that has some shade trees over it. So that's not bad. Shoot, I don't even need to put my sunshade in right here. This gives me better shade than sunshade. I think I did good on the parking front. What time is it right now? 1:57. I'm right on time. Finish my water, get some thoughts out. That's what I need in my life, some thoughts. Anyway, Priscilla suggested I file a missing persons report on Allison. I'm not entirely sure how one goes about doing that. Might be prudent at this point in time. Anyway, kind of awkward seeing the kids I don't know, but it was nice seeing the one nephew that I do know. I wasn't expecting to see two sisters. I was just expecting to see one, but it's all good. And I was able to help them out a little bit. I mean, granted, it's not much. I'm not much help to much of anybody these days, but they were like, well, they were driving this huge 11-passenger van because they got so many dang kids, and which I can't even imagine driving something like that with gas as expensive as right now. Because those things get worse mileage than these big old trucks. But they're like, well, you know, where's a reasonable place to get gas? I said, well, the cheapest gas is Costco right over there. And they're like, oh, we don't have a Costco membership, just a Sam's Club membership. I'm like, well, I can meet you over there. I can swipe my member ID card and just run you if you got a credit card. So I can just swipe my member ID card. So that's what we did. Put my member card in, and then when it gives the prompt, there's a prompt that comes in right after that where it asks if I want to pay with that credit card, which I think is maxed out right now. Pay with that credit card or pay with another payment, and then just hit the other payment button and then put in his card. So they were able to top off because the price of gas at that Costco was much, much less than anything within a 10-mile radius of here. It's sometimes a little cheaper at the business center, but that's still clear over at 33rd Avenue and Grand. Anyway, I'm heading in for my interview. I'm a little sweaty, but I don't think I look too terribly disheveled, so I think this will go good. And it just occurred to me I probably want to bring my registration. Is this the right one? It expires 1/31/2025. That is it. And probably my insurance as well. That's horribly unorganized. I'm just going to bring in the whole damn envelope. Things I think of at the last minute. Wish me luck. Hopefully I get this job, and this is something I can start working right away, and something where they can schedule around me when I get a proper full-time job.